Hi, I'm Ryan Kessler. This is the final season of the CCHA. Come celebrate the legacy at the CCHA Championship at Joe Louis Arena. Go Buckeyes.
The cup that every team in the CCHA wishes to hoist.
Hi again, hockey fans. Welcome into week number 4 of CCHA Now. My name is Ben Holden. Hope you had a great holiday and a great Thanksgiving. And, well, the CCHA, certainly the big winner this past weekend, the Northern Michigan Wildcats, as they had Alaska up at the Barrie Event Center, and they took 5 of a possible 6 points. As for the top of the standings, it's still Miami number 1 at 16 points. Then right on their heels, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Ferris State, all with 15 points. And we're back to a full slate of CCHA games this weekend. We'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But as we always do, let's drop the puck on this edition of CCHA Now with our top 10 plays of the week. And we begin with number 10. And for that, we begin at the Comp in South Bend, Irish in North Dakota. Irish already up 3-1 when Jeff Costello lets it fly up the left wing. An absolute rocket. Costello finished the night with a goal and 2 helpers in a 5-2 Irish win. Play number 9 takes us up to the Barrie Event Center in Marquette. And we are in the shootout, folks. Ryan Ainsley trying to win it for the Cats, and he does not disappoint. Nothing like a shootout game winner unless, of course, you get an overtime winner, which we'll see more from the Wildcats later in the top 10 plays of the week. In at number 8 this week, over to the Sioux, the Lakers and Buckeyes, Max McCormick. Nice-looking sophomore. He scores here by going shelf. Buckeyes won that game on Friday, 4-1. In at number 7, down to Yost, Michigan hosting Bowling Green, and Michigan native Bobby Shea crashing the party early on. A 6th snipe here with 2 seconds remaining in the opening period that gave Bowling Green at the time a 1-0 lead. And play number 6 takes us back to the Sioux. Pretty goal on Saturday night. Lakers won 3-2 over the Buckeyes. Kevin Churchman, high slot, wrister goes shelf. Love it when those D-men jump into the play and help out offensively. Kevin Churchman doing a nice job of it right there. Well, coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll show you our top 5 plays of the week. You want to stick around for that? Absolutely. Well, time now to celebrate the legacy of the CCHA as we've done each and every week, and we will throughout the season here on CCHA Now. This weekend up in East Lansing, it'll be the Buckeyes visiting the Spartans for an old-school rivalry between those two teams. Ohio State playing well. Michigan State's had time off. They should be ready to go for these 2 games coming up this weekend. First of 2 celebrate the legacy moments right now. First, we give you John Markle, former Buckeyes coach, talking about his memories of 2004 when Ohio State beat Michigan 4-2 for the Mason Cup.
Their first title since 1972.
The seniors took a hold of that hockey club, and they were saying, hey, coach, we're not going to let you down. We're not going to let ourselves down. And we were good enough. But if that game against Michigan when I got 5 minutes, I don't know. But we had played 3 games in 3 nights, and they don't do that anymore. And Michigan it was only the 2nd game. And as physical and as fast as Michigan was, it was a tremendous compliment to our senior-led team, and to win that CCHA for the first time in a long time. That was pretty exciting.
And coming up a little bit later in this edition of CCHA Now, we'll have our Celebrate the Legacy moment with current Spartan head coach Tom Anastas. Time now to shift gears. It's our CCHA profile this week. And back in the early part of the 21st century, this young man from Western Canada, he was lighting it up for Ferris State. He's had a very good professional career, a couple Stanley Cups to his credit. His name is Chris Kunitz. Here's a snippet.
Tournament team plaque from Commissioner Tom Anastas.
Yeah, I didn't obviously know. We didn't have a bunch of draft picks or guys that were highly prospects to go. So we knew once we played in Minnesota, we knew they had a bunch of guys. Or you saw the year after that we played against 4 guys on that team that were playing in the NHL. So we knew that the Michigan States always had guys that were going on to play pro careers. It was something that I think we all wanted to do when we left school, was to try our luck at being professional. For me, I was fortunate enough to have a good year and have a good run and get on a good team.
And make sure you go to ccha.com. Coming up on Friday, you can see the entire version of our profile this week on former Bulldog Chris Kunitz. And over the years, when Chris Kunitz and the time he spent in the CCHA, he won many, many Player of the Week awards. And what do you say we get to this week's award winners? Post-game Offensive Player of the Week comes from Notre Dame. It's Anders Lee. Scored 3 goals in a weekend split with North Dakota for the Irish. Our Gladiator Defenseman of the Week, Scott McCauley, had an assist and scored the game winner in overtime on Friday against Alaska. He added an assist in a 2-2 tie shootout win against the Nanooks on Saturday. Our goaltender of the week is Brady Jelly from Ohio State. In a 4-1 win at Lake Superior on Friday, he stopped 31 shots. He allowed 1 goal, stopping 18 in a relief effort in a 3-2 loss on Saturday. And the Gong Show Rookie of the Week comes from Lake Superior State. Eric Drapluk had an assist in a 4-1 loss to Ohio State on Friday, added another assist in a 3-2 win over the Buckeyes on Saturday. He finished the weekend with 3 shots on goal for Lake Superior. Time now to take a look at this week's USCHO.com Top 20 poll, and the Miami Redhawks, the highest-ranked CCHA team. They're in at number 4. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame stay where they were last weekend at number 6. Western Michigan, they're in at number 10. And Ferris State in at number 17 this week. Michigan dropping out after a 5-1 loss to Cornell on Saturday. On the docket this weekend in the CCHA, some big games. On Friday night on the Big Ten Network, Ohio State at Michigan State. That's an 8:05 start. Miami takes on Alaska. Michigan at Ferris State. Northern Michigan at Western Michigan. And Jeff Jackson gets reacquainted with his former team, the Lakers of Lake State. They're in South Bend. On Saturday, a 6:05 start time on Comcast, Ohio State and Michigan State. And the only other change on that schedule, Lake State and Notre Dame at 7:05. And on Tuesday, Michigan Tech in Marquette to take on the Wildcats at 7:35. Well, as promised, it's time for our second Celebrate the Legacy moment this week here on CCHA Now. And for that, we're going to hear from MSU head coach Tom Anastas, who, back when the Cold War was played back in October of 2001, Tom was running the CCHA, but he still has some very vivid memories of that great moment in CCHA history.
Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey, and one of the all-time greats.
And back then, it was such a bold move because no one had ever done it. I'm sure there was a lot of people wondering if it would be successful, and were ready to laugh at it if it failed. But you know, the folks here at Michigan State were bold enough to take that step, and without a blueprint, and go figure out how to do something so creative. And so that will be one of the most meaningful and lasting memories I have of my time in the commissioner's chair.
Nice. Here's Slater cutting toward the goal. In front, there's shot, score! Adam Hall from Jim Slater, and the Spartans draw first blood.
Well, thanks to Tom Anastas and to John Markle as well. Folks, here at CCHA Productions and at CCHA.com, we are on a quest. We are trying to find former Mason Cup champions. And as a part of that, this week's Celebrate the Legacy Team of the Week, the 1989 Michigan State Spartans. They had a guy named Bobby Reynolds who was absolutely electric back in the late 80s. So we invite you to go to CCHA.com to check out that and try to help us find all those former Mason Cup champs. Time now to get to our top 5 plays of the week, and let's get right after it. As I mentioned, a huge weekend for the Cats, and how about the passing here from Reed Seckel to Stefan Vigier. Great alertness and skill to make the play. Both of them getting a big thumbs up in the office here at CCHA Productions. In at number 4, we go back to Yost last Wednesday. Michigan up 2-1. Phil DiGiuseppe, a great pass to Justin Selman. Gets a great redirect for the highlight reel goal and a 3-1 Michigan win. In at number 3, we go back to the Sioux on Saturday. Buckeyes get a bounce. Devin Crow's shot comes right back to him, and then he finds the super sophomore with a great hockey name, Ryan DeZingle. Goes shelf in the right circle. That is how you finish right there. In at number 2, play 2 takes us back to the comp. Steven Summerhays with a huge stop on North Dakota sniper Rocco Grimaldi. Left pad extended. That was big in the first period in what turned out to be a 5-2 Notre Dame win. In at number 1 this week, nothing like an overtime winner in Marquette Friday. Game tied at 3. Scott McCauley supplies the dramatics, and the Cats would take 5 points in their home series with Alaska. And that is this week's number 1 play of the week. Well, that's our show, folks. Our shift has ended this week here on CCHA Now. Hope you enjoyed the show as always. We love putting it together for you. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and you can always go to CCHA.com for more information. Big series coming up this weekend around the league. Enjoy the games. We'll see you at the rink. Until next week, Ben Holden saying thanks for watching and so long.